Hey, everybody, it's Mike Dubord getting ready to celebrate Memorial Weekend with my fellow veterans. And we are out in, where the heck are we?
Manitowoc, Wisconsin.
Manitowoc, Wisconsin, out in Manitowoc County. And I'm here with Ron Wiesner, who is a lifelong resident of Manitowoc County, served in Vietnam. And we want to talk about your service, if you don't mind. Tell me how it all started. Graduated from high school, then what?
I had a job already before I even graduated working for Merrill Corporation in the boat department. And upon graduation, I became full-time. And it was going along real good. Had a lot of money, bought a new car, was having a lot of fun. And I came home from work one day and the envelope was laying on the table. And when I opened it up, it said, "Greetings and hallucinations, you're screwed. Yeah. Uncle Sam had me." So I became a part of the United States Army.
All right. And this was what year?
1969.
All right. So you go off to serve your country, and where does it all begin? Where does it all start?
Went down to the Repo Depot in Milwaukee, passed the physical, and I was sent down to Fort Campbell, Kentucky for basic training.
Home of the 101st Airborne.
Yes, sir, that it was. And we come out of there and went down to Fort Polk, Louisiana. Everybody remembers it as Tiger Ridge down there for our training for Vietnam. So once I got done down there, I came home for 30 days leave and went over to SeaTac Airport, Fort Lewis, Washington, and made my journey.
11 Bravo, grunt.
Yep, 11 Bravo. Proud to be infantry.
Me too, 11 Charlie, airborne infantry. So what happens next? You get over to Nam. Where are you at?
Well, we left Washington. We flew to Alaska. We got out up there, and that was a culture shock because we all had our summer clothes on, and it was about 30 below with the wind chill when we got off the airplane. But we got back on the jet and took off, landed in Japan, refueled, and we took off and landed in Cameron Bay.
So what was, you get over there, I mean, my time in Central America was a lot of sitting around doing nothing. Now, I'm going to assume that probably wasn't the case in Vietnam. Tell me, what does a typical day look like over there?
Getting in country, you get sent to a unit, flew out by C-130 to the smallest airport that they could land in, and then helicoptered out to my unit out in the field. Jungle is a lot different than the veterans of today that were out in the desert. So a lot of heat, a lot of humidity, and that's what really killed everybody over there. The minute you got off the plane, the heat and humidity hit you, and actually the smell too. So
obviously you were involved in some combat situations.
Yes, sir. Started out as a rifleman, radio operator, got wounded, so I wound up taking over the radio, doing radio communications. Then after that, one of the one of the guys went on R&R, so I carried a grenade launcher for a while, and that was just a week. And then it seemed that the first unit I was assigned to was getting sent back home, so I got redeployed to a different unit. And when I got over there, a friend of mine from Mendovia, Wisconsin, on the west side of the state, seen me and talked to the LT, and all of a sudden I became the machine gun squad leader. So I carried an M60.
You were over there for how long?
12 months. 12 months. Yep.
So we talked about the fact that we didn't want to get too involved in people that you knew, people that you lost, but you obviously lost some friends over there.
Oh, yes. Yeah, we lost a few. Our CO was pretty lucky in the second unit. We were supposed to be search and destroy, but he was more or less the thought of escape and evade. But when it come down to it, if we had to defend ourselves or do what we were told, we handled it the best we could.
So you got out when?
I got out in October of, out of Vietnam. I got out of there in October of 69, and I finished up out of Fort Hood down in Texas, 71.
Wow. While you were over there, did you have any, political opinions about what was taking place over there and why you were there and all that stuff?
I did. Excuse me. there were people in the neighborhood that actually deserted, went to Canada. But the people that I talked to, it formed my opinion that the only reason we were there is to try and actually take the benefits, the produce of the country for us. The rubber plantations, the tea plantations, pineapple plantations that were all over there. We were there to protect the greed that was being made off the country, is what I felt. But yet when I got my letter, I didn't run. I did what I had to do.
And we appreciate that so very much. So you came home, and then what?
Well, like a lot of guys, it was hard to reacclimate yourself to the community. People didn't want to hear what I had to talk about, trying to talk about where I was and what I did. And if they asked me what I did over there and I'd start talking about it, next thing you know, they'd turn and wander off. Nobody wanted to listen to what we had to say. So sad to say, alcohol was a lot that helped me cope.
Right.
So and that kept up until I was fortunate enough to meet my wife. So kind of drew me out of a bottle and gave me perspective. So.
Excellent. Now, you were telling me that later on, you started going to school, high schools and whatnot, talking about your time over there?
Yeah, that all came about when one of my friends said I should join one of the military organizations here in the city. And talking with them one night, some of the older guys didn't want any baby killers, women killers in the unit with them. And that sort of really turned me off on the old faction that was around here. And when the Vietnam Vets of America tried to form a chapter here, I went to the original organizing meeting, and one of the main planks is that our unit would never turn its back on another veteran. And that really piqued my curiosity, and that's why I wound up joining them. I'm a charter member with our local chapter here in Manitowoc. And I've been doing it ever since. And we were lucky enough before the COVID hit that we could go into schools around the community here. We're a county-wide organization, so we get in the schools and let the kids come and talk to us, and ask us. We can tell them what they'll never find in a history book. So they get the real veterans' ideas and what they actually seen with their eyes and went through.
Well, Ron, I think it's clear today to most Americans that those who served in Vietnam certainly did not get the welcome home that they deserved. And from this Army veteran, I thank you for your service. And from all of us at Duke FM, we appreciate what you've done for your country. And no matter how long it's been, we welcome you home.
Thank you. And welcome home to you, too.
Thank you.